What is going on, guys? Johnny on the track, back here with another video back from Kansas Speedway, where had a great time. Little upset with how that race went because I feel like Denny Hamlin was a contender, which I talked about. Byron was a contender. Um, who else did I have? Kyle Busch looked like he could possibly play a role at some point in that race, even like from a non-betting standpoint, Chase Elliott and Brad Keselowski. Those guys look like they had something for Larson, and they all made mistakes. And sure enough, Kyle Larson did not, and that's why he won this race. I don't think he had the best car. He had the best, he had a great car in clean air. Blaney was another one. Great car, just couldn't get his stuff right. Same with Bell. But those guys were all better than Larson on the long run, and it just seemed like we could never get in a true rhythm to get that long run. Some of those guys that maybe had the short run speed to contend and get up front, all they were all out of it. They were all out of it. So a lot of passing, though, fun to watch. A lot of guys could easily make their way through the field. So overall, I actually thought it was a good race, even though we had a total domination by one driver leading the most laps, the majority of the race, sweeping the stages and getting. I think he's the first guy to get 61 points, sweep the stages and get the Xfinity fastest lap point. So but yeah, overall, good time, good weekend. I don't think I was able to, actually, I know for a fact now, I was not able to get in my bets on Action Network, so I apologize. That won't happen again, but that's why I do this show, so you guys can listen in to place the bets early. But that won't happen again. Obviously, just busy weekend. So, wanted to get that out there as well. But now we are talking All-Star race this weekend at North Wilkesboro. This is the last race for Fox. So, pretty big spot for Fox. And then I think we go to it's either Prime or TNT. I don't know, one of those two, who will get the Coke 600, which I am super excited for. That's where we'll really get the betting back. I probably honestly won't be betting on the All-Star race. If I do, it'll be small stuff. I'm not the biggest All-Star race betting guy. I think it's kind of gimmicky. Especially with them putting in a promoter's caution this year, I think that's kind of lame. I think that's kind of dumb. So I probably won't be betting on it. And again, if I do, it'll be, some small stuff, some fun stuff. But I say all that to say there is some value on the board. Right now, Kyle Larson's plus 500. I mean, that's a good bet. Yeah, to get Kyle Larson at 5 to 1, that's just a good bet. He's been the class of the field this year. He's been fast everywhere we've went, from super speedways to road courses to mile and a halfs, and of course short flats, which we'll see this weekend at North Wilkesboro. But yeah, again, like just to me, not one of those races that I want to put a good chunk of money on. It's more fun to watch. But again, it's too gimmicky of a race for me to really put bets on. But like I said, Larson, I think there's great value plus 500. Ryan Blaney at plus 650. I think overall, he's your number one driver on short flats dating back to the beginning of last season. You look at iFantasy Race and his stats everywhere. You look, Blaney is that top dog. You dig deeper in the numbers, wherever you get any of your numbers from, he's got the best average finish. He wins. He's always a top 3 to 5 car. And it would be very Ryan Blaney to me to win the All-Star race. And that would be his first win of the season, where he's been just it's so fast at so many different tracks this season. It seems like a Blaney thing to do, to win the All-Star race prior to winning any points paying races. But like I said, he's just so good at short flats. I assume he'll qualify well. Rather, it's gonna be really hard to pass. It was hard to pass last year. I think it was a 200 lap race, and Joey Logano led 199 of the 200 laps. So if you're out front, the way this track is, it's just really really tough to pass. The tires don't really wear. I wish they brought something different, and we would have intense tire wear because I think that would do something. But even like lap traffic, I mean, there's only like 20 to 23 cars. So, um, it's lap traffic and it's a shorter race, right? So lap traffic doesn't play as big as a factor as it normally does in a lot of these short track races. So tough to pass if you qualify up front. If you got a fast car, which I think Blaney will, he's going to have a good chance to stay up there and have a shot at this thing. I'll go to Denny Hamlin, Martinsville winner, second at Phoenix. He won the Clash not too long ago. He's a Richmond winner last year. So at short flats, he's been elite in the next gen era. And I really like his chances coming off really back to back terrible weeks. Fire at Texas in the car, and then I think he blew his transmission. Yeah, essentially couldn't shift at Kansas. So coming off two tough weeks where he's had a fast car, he was great last weekend at Kansas. I think if he comes out of that pit cycle first or second, which it looked like he was going to do, I think he has a real shot to win that race. I was very upset that Denny Hamlin was not able to have his say in that thing when it was all said and done. But with all that, I think we've got a motivated Hamlin coming into the All-Star race this weekend. Um, yeah, so I like Hamlin a lot. Chase Elliott is another guy that really, really fast car. Huge improvement, huge strides to me last week at Kansas. Really saw a step up from that team. He's obviously your Clash winner. His last bad finish at a short flat was New Hampshire last year. He finished 18th. Other than that, all he does is get top tens and top fives. He's been really, really good, just so consistent at short flats. So I like him, from the confidence he showed last year. Again, maybe a little bit of motivation overall. He won one of these marquee kind of non points paying events already. So if he qualifies well, in the heat races and makes his way up in the front, again, it's going to be tough to pass. So I like Elliott there a lot. Um, Blaney, Elliott, Larson, Hamlin. I mean, we're talking big names here. Overall, the way I look at this race is I think whoever starts in the top five, one of those guys is going to win the race. I know Larson won this thing starting 16th in 2023, but the track has obviously changed. The package in the way these guys race these cars has changed since then. Um, I just feel like it's going to be so hard to pass. So aside from, whatever that promoter's caution does and maybe create some chaos, I don't think there's going to be a lot of cautions. I think it's going to be a clean race. I think whoever takes the lead on an early restart or within the first, I don't know, 25 to 50 laps, we'll see pretty quickly who has the best car and who's going to win that race, but it's going to be one of those guys that starts in the top five, in my opinion. That's how it's been recently at Martinsville, even Richmond to an extent. Austin Dillon last year, I think, started like right around top five, and that's so we saw that he was fast, and again, it's tough to pass. So that's how I see this race going. Logano is another guy that I think you can circle on this list. He's 8.5 to 1, won it last year, probably going to have a fast hot rod, aggressive driving style. So if he's starting in the top, let's say five, he won't be afraid to put the bumper early to some guys and make his way up there. So yeah, I mean, that's how I see this race going. I'm not going to be putting a lot of money on it. But all in all, I think you can't go wrong betting on this race if you choose to because there is some decent value. So one more time. So Larson at plus 500, Blaney at 6.5 to 1, Chase Elliott 9.5 to 1, Denny Hamlin 5.5 to 1, and Logano right up there at plus 850. So I'm giving you the heavy hitters. I don't think we're gonna see any of the like a Cindric or a Barry or a Brad or a Kyle Busch. I don't think anybody like that is going to win this thing. I think it's going to be a top dog because it's going to be tough just to pass overall. So those are the bets that I'd be giving out to you this weekend for the All-Star race Sunday night on, I believe Fox is the network, their last race of the season. So there it is. Want to know what you guys think? Are you betting on the All-Star race? And if so, why? Put that in the comment section below. Give this video a like, goes a long way for the channel, and hit that subscribe button down below as we continue to keep you updated on all things NASCAR and all things NASCAR betting. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.